Talking point slope form today. Point slope formula is y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1, okay? And so because it's called point slope form, the point and the slope can be taken out of that formula. In fact, the point is going to be in the form x1, y1. So if I take the x1 from here and the y1 from there, and I write them as an ordered pair, that's going to be the point or some sort of point that's on the line of that graph. And secondly, the slope of that graph is just the m from your formula. Here we're asked to find the point and the slope kind of given this equation here, y minus 5 equals -3 times the quantity x plus 1. So I'm going to use my point slope formula from up here to help me out with that. Okay, remember that the point in this can actually be the x1, y1 written as an ordered pair. So we're going to start by writing out kind of an ordered pair of those parentheses. And the x1 here, since the formula says it's x minus x1, I would need to write this as x minus something. And what can I write there so that this is equivalent? It's actually going to be a -1, right? X minus a -1 is the same as x plus 1. So the -1 is going to be the x1 in this case. One way to think about it is that you kind of use the opposite sign from what you're given. So if it was a +1 there, it's going to be a -1 here. All right, similarly, this is y minus y1, so you're going to use the opposite sign again. If it's -5 here, it's going to be a +5 for your y value. All right, but the reason for that is because they have to be equivalent. Secondly, the slope always is the number that comes in front of your parentheses. If you don't have parentheses, it'd just be the number in front of the x. In this case, that's going to be my -3, or -3/1 if you think rise over run for the slope. All right, this problem is asking us to graph this line, y minus 2 equals 2/3 times the quantity x minus 4. And you should be able to realize right away that this is in point slope form. So in order to graph this, we need a point and a slope. And from those two things, we can then draw the line. So the point in this one, just remember like we did in that last problem, it's going to be 4, 2. You kind of use the opposite signs there for the x and the y. So let's see, 4, 2 is going to be a point that I draw on my graph, or plot on my graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. So about right there. And then the slope, so this was the point. The slope, I'll say m, is going to be just 2/3. That's that number in front of your parentheses. So what you can do is from your point that you have, you can go up 2 and over 3. Always run to the right. 1, 2, and over 1, 2, 3. Probably be easier for you since you have graph paper. You can also go down 2 and back 3. So down 2, 1, 2, 3. Be there. If you connect all those lines, that is the graph of this line.